Rich Lowe, Pilot Legacy, on site at the Stanton, Lockhart, Texas, with our June 2024 investor update. Buildings 7 and 8 are looking quite nice now as our Phase 2 project starts to take on some cosmetic appeal. Looking at the Stanton from the east, you can see the telltale signs of life as our signature blue Stanton paint has been applied to the shake siding of Buildings 7 and 8. On the western face of Building 7, all rock fascia has been applied, with Building 8's application now getting underway. To apply the fascia, a vapor lock is first applied on top of the existing Tyvek wrap layer, followed by a wire mesh which is attached with staples. Then the masonry crew applies mortar to the wire mesh, it dries, and then finally the rock fascia itself is applied atop of the dried mortar. Also noticeable on Building 7 are the railings which have been installed on the balconies of both the eastern and western sides. In the breezeways, additional trim is being applied, as well as caulk in preparation for the painting of the breezeways. And here at Pilot Legacy, we only use Top Gun caulk, the best of the best. I know. We're also getting some door hardware installed, permitting individual units to now be secured. And moving into the units themselves, lightweight gypsum concrete has been poured onto the floors, where eventually more durable vinyl flooring will be installed rather than carpeting. Also, many of the walls in Buildings 7 and 8 have been textured and painted. High overhead, you can see the progress made on the interconnecting sidewalks and picnic area, which will connect Phase 1 with Phase 2 and provide some much needed relief from the mud which forms between the buildings during each rainfall. As for the progress of the other buildings, 9, 10, and 11, they continue in sequence. However, there is some additional matters for discussion this month as it relates to Building 11, and that is the placement of certain plumbing components that occurred before the foundation was poured. Now, we've touched on these areas in the past, and I will admit when I first saw the digging up of concrete for the adjustment of PVC pipe placement in the foundation, I was more than a little shocked. However, I've come to learn that, believe it or not, this is actually quite normal. It's certainly not ideal, but it happens on nearly every post-tension cable foundation pour around the country. Here in Building 11, we had some issues that required a more robust excavation and readjustment of certain plumbing components. Now, when the plumbing crews roughen the MEP, that's exactly what they do, roughly estimate the plumbing's location based upon the framing blueprint. With a myriad of joint components at their disposal, crews can often make adjustments within the framework of the building that meet the required tolerances and remain within the footprint of the sill plates. Other times, like in this instance, it requires a bigger effort to reaccomplish. In such a case, the rebar is cut and sometimes even the post-tension cables are cut. The plumbing is more accurately placed, and then the post-tension cables are reconnected with a coupling. Here you can see it. And then they're re-stressed with the required tension that was in the design. Finally, the rebar is repaired and a re-pour is accomplished. Of course, all these operations are performed under the supervision of the post-tension cable manufacturer, a civil engineer, and the architect. And I know you are all probably wondering this, but no, the investors do not bear the burden of this repair. Rather, it's the plumbing subcontractor that does. Now, if you're racking your brain and asking yourself, why not just do this right the first time? Well, let me tell you, join the club and come on down here and join me in Lockhart, where we can solve this and other conundrums of our day. I'm sure there's a business opportunity in here somewhere, but all that to say, we have it all rectified in Building 11, and the re-pour is scheduled for just after the 4th of July. By this time next month, I'll have a fully repaired foundation with well-positioned plumbing to present to you. Finally, on the northwest corner of the Stanton, we have installed a slough which will direct the abundance of rainwater from not only our own driveway, but any excess offlow from our neighbors at Legacy Senior Living. I think this addition is going to work quite well at directing more water into our beloved Lake Lockhart to the north, and as you can see, it appears to be holding more and more water as the impermeable surface around the Hansford development to the east continues, as well as the developments of the Stanton and Legacy Senior Living. Since last month's update, there have been no new change orders, so our updated contract amount remains at $23,081,775. To date, $16,296,646 has been drawn, with June's requisition totaling $1,555,165. As of today, June 29, 2024, we are 75% of the way through our scheduled Phase 2 timeline. Jenner reports the occupancy of Stanton Phase 1 remains strong at 95%, with inquiries and walk-ins continuing unabated. Pilot Legacy's next OAC meeting will be on July 18th, and of course, as always, all investors are welcome to join us during that meeting and tour the site. And of course, I'll be back on site Tuesday, July 30th for our July update. We'll see you then. Looking at the Stanton from the east, not a finger. Finally, the rebar is repaired and a repour is reaccomplished. Finally, the rebar is repaired and a repour is accomplished.